All right, turn sideways. Alrighty, Ian, I got it. Pick up just a little. I know I get complaints about clean off your desk. Well, if it was clean, there wouldn't be much work being done. I'm going to wait just a few minutes while I finish getting ready. Like I said before, I had to cut off because we were filming vertically. If I had 4 lunchroom tables in here, every one of them would be full. Because it just takes an awful lot of stuff. Look at all these yummy scraps of Eco-dyed paper. Even the little pieces are great. And there's a few more. And a wet sponge. And a corner. I don't think I need the corner thing today, so we'll put it up. I have some paper pulled from the other night that I was working. Let me show you. See, is this what I was going to... This is my idea book for possible larger paintings, and I am really enjoying this. Hey Rosemary, good to see you, babe. I'm just going to have a ramble here. Finished those at your house the other day, at your studio. And there's a new one. And there's the start of one. So that's where that journal is. Today I'm going to work in this one. And I promised some people over on Facebook that I would show them Shannon's Custom Keeper. I'm drinking my lunch. What time is it? 3:08. We're going. Because it may just be us for as long as you could stay. I know you're busy too. Alright. This is the Custom Keeper by Shannon Green. And she has a wonderful shop on Etsy called By Shannon Green. You can find her everywhere. But this is a recycled billboard vinyl. And she has fused it. And it's a Midori style notebook with the elastic in it. There are 4 elastic bands, and this is how I store my painted papers. So they just fold up and go under the band, and then you can tear pieces off of them or pull them out. And there's no order to them, so you can put them back wherever you want to. This is a great way to use those papers. I had mine in a bin one time, and there was always stuff piled on top of the bin, and I couldn't get to it. So if you were really anal, you could have them sorted by color, but then it would be harder to put everything up. So there's the small one, and I have a large one that holds bigger sheets and some painted drop papers. I'll get it out in a minute. These are great in small pieces. I used some painty papers here. Whoops. One that didn't get stuck down good. Here's some more. Now, but this I'm going to claim as a painty paper. I mean a drop cloth. It was when I was playing with some spin art. And that was the gate that I had put up around it, so I could collect all the colors in the beautiful little dots. I'll have to do that again sometime. I'm looking for drop papers. Here's some. And I just like them even rumpled. They give good texture. And here is some, my attempt at Citrusov and National Geographic. And I love the colors that went with this. And then after it was all done, I thought, you better read that text and find out what it's talking about. Too late. Here's some more painted drop cloth. So it's very handy to have around. Anyway, this is the bigger one. Has just bigger papers. You can fold them in half to make them fit. Here's another drop cloth, drop paper. Sometimes I have to fold them twice to get them to fit, but it works great. Here are some Avery labels that I had all but forgotten about. I wondered what those were. We could do some more painting on top of those. Right now it just has some pieces from some color chart work I did, or color design work I did for Canvas Corp, and these were some of the little pieces left off the swatches, so we're going to save that out. We may end up doing 2 or 3 things until I poop out. I wonder where Ian is. He was here, Johnny on the spot, a minute ago when I was having trouble getting the camera to go. Here's another, it may be the same drop cloth. Here's some more. They're great. Don't throw those away. Anyway, this is how I store my papers. If one's still too wide, just fold it. So anyway, there you go. Oh, the other thing I was going to show you while we're talking about Shannon's painted papers, custom keepers. This one really is custom. It was one of her experimental pieces, and it is, she was experimenting with alcohol ink and resin, and I think this is the one that flooded all over the table, so she just scraped up pieces of it, put it back on, and then because it had so many holes in it, she experimented and put a coat of clear resin on top of this. So it made a real nice stiff cover. Again, it's got the strap like the Midori's. And you can see where the 4 strings are. These are the paper booklets that she puts together. So my job with this book was to play with it and see how the resin stood up, making sure that the holes don't tear. I was sitting using this the other night, and the more I held the book, the warmer and more flexible it got. It just felt like a cozy little teddy bear. So I decided that a good way to test them would be with some doodling. I particularly love the feel of this paper. Feels like it's got a little bit of a clay coating to it, but it's lightweight enough that it doesn't bulk up. And the journal that I'm using here is lighter weight paper with no wax to it, no clay coat to it at all. And using an Uhu glue stick makes all these pages lay flat, which I like. See? Totally flat. So, this paper is a little bit similar. It's a little bit heavier. Not much, but a little. And it's got a clay coating on both sides. And you can see the shadow of the black underneath on the back page. Excuse the puppies. But you don't get any bleed through. And I wasn't real happy with that one, so I just skipped over and did another one. That's the joy of doodling. You can just start as many pages as you want. Anything will fit in these books, as long as they're not too heavy. That one's in backwards. This is another book that I was experimenting with. This is from Canvas Corp. And again, testing to see what kind of media it would take. And this is watercolor. Didn't get, well, you can't tell if I got the bleed through from over here when it wasn't dry. This one I love. It's gouache. And gouache to me is almost, it goes on almost like oil. It is an opaque watercolor, which means that each layer will cover up the one under it. But like watercolor, if you mess around too much, that layer underneath will liquefy. And this one is colored pencil. And I'm not sure what that is. Maybe watercolor and gouache. This one is a beauty. This one's gouache. That one may be gouache. Okay, but I love the paper. And it would take to this collage technique that we're going to do. The other thing in this book are, somewhere over the rainbow, these storage inserts. This one's in upside down, but you can put little pieces of paper and stuff in there. So all those little bits and bobs of eco dyed paper I could put in there. So, not going to work with that one today. I just wanted to show you a little bit more about the custom keeper. What we are going to work on today, or what I'm going to work on today, and anybody that's here is going to watch, feel like a voyeur. This is a junk journal I made several years ago, back before it really became the bomb. And it really is very similar to what's being done today. I've used laser prints of some artwork and a calendar book that I put together with photographs that Randy took in Monet's garden. So the idea was that someone who buys this would have enough in there that they could go forward with it and keep working on it. And this is a pocket page. The colors are a little bit drab for my taste, but it works well. Everything in it, from deli paper to, I guess that's supposed to be glued down. Just little bits and scraps and bobs and whatever's laying on your desk. All that stuff has magnificent properties to use in something like this. I did do a few pages in this journal style that I really like. And if I turn that camera just a hair, it'll be more square. Same thing that I was doing in the other book. Just using some of the pieces. This one I love. This was some, oh, lordy, it's fun getting old. Texture paste through a stencil and then colored a little bit. So I just added a few bits to it. and used what was on the page already. And the same here. The stamp was there, the stamp here and here, and this postcard stamp was there. So I just added some pieces. And another. So this is a piece of vinyl. Looks like it might be duct tape here. And this is just a paper that's been embossed and cut with a Cuttlebug. Another little pocket. So I'm going to do a few pages in here. Hey Ian, thank God you got me back. I thought I did something wrong. I'm drinking my lunch. Not that kind of drinking my lunch, but just quickly, Ian, I showed these. I don't remember if I showed them before, but quickly, these are how I store my painted papers and drop cloths. And this is Shannon Green's Midori style notebook with elastic, and you can just slide pieces of paper under there. And I'll put a link to her goodies in the description. Okay, let's move this one out of the way and decide what we're going to do, what I'm going to do. Ain't no we to it, is there? Let's try some of that. Some of that would be good. And this, I'm just picking 3 of my special paints that I bought for this type of journaling. I have Folk Art Color Shift. I have Martha Stewart Pearl. That's a pink. And I have Celadon by Blick is a matte acrylic. And the reason that this is so good is because the color is so neutral that it can go with anything. So, well, at least you're on now. I got a new little tool. I got this at Hobby Lobby. And it's Momenta. But it appears to be very good because it's so flexible. And I have ordered some silicone makeup sponges they're clear and that real soft silicone, and I'm going to see how well those work to spread stuff. So without further ado, hey Michelle, glad you could make it. You missed a little bit of the talking about the custom keepers, but it'll be in the replay, and you haven't missed much. This paint isn't open yet. They package these things well. Again, this is the Color Shift. I have to be careful tumping on my desk because things will fall. And I know that Martha Stewart has a little thingy, so I'll pull that off and smear it on there. I have been known to use those little silver things. But that one's white on the top, so we're not going to pull it. And if you see that you need a little bit more, this method just uses a drib and a drab of color, and that enables it to dry quickly, and it's so thin that it dries quickly. Well, that was genius, wasn't it? And most of these paints I'm using, the Celadon is not, but these other two are translucent, or almost transparent. When I started trying to do mixed media journaling, I just covered the page in paint, and it's too hard to do anything with, and you don't get any blending. And that's what you really want, is a blend of different colors and see how they work together. Okay, and I had pulled some papers the last week. Let's see if any of these work. Move these right here. See if anything speaks to me. This is a piece of encaustic monoprint wax. So is this. No, this is not. This is just some scratching around on deli paper. This one is an encaustic print. I just love how translucent they get. Again, this is a paper from Asia that did not absorb the wax, which I found very interesting because it's almost a mulberry type paper. Okay, deli print. Ooh, that's a maybe. Look at there, look at there. Exact same color. Okay, I don't like that one. That's a cleanup sheet. Keep that, we may need it. That's another leftover. I had some leftover wax from my last session, and I just pulled a print with what was on the griddle. That might be a maybe. And so might this one. This one's got, well, the other side is prettier. Okay, so we've got 3 there that might be a possibility. And this one. So I'm going to tear. Sometimes I use a metal ruler to tear, and sometimes I like to tear. So just do whatever suits you. Even these little bitty bits and bobs can work. And do y'all know that, see that right there? It's the back of the paper because I was tearing toward me. If you want a clean edge without this little feathery piece, tear away from you. And I want to save the things that were on the page, yeah, if I want to. Goodness gracious, I need to look up a little more often, don't I? Thanks, Michelle. I am loving this style of working. So my mentor on this is Robin McClendon. And she's got a weekly, well, not weekly, it's a monthly subscription. That's kind of pretty there. That side's kind of boring. So anyway, for I think it's $25 a month, you get 3 or 4 videos a week and a theme, and that's kind of nice. Subtle. Maybe that's better. I'm about to think that's all that page needs, except, Rosemary, don't laugh. I know you and Shannon iron all your papers. These are left over from the Echo Dye day that we did at Rosemary's studio. And they peel theirs all apart and iron them. I don't, obviously. These are the little bits that ordinarily would be thrown away, but they're just too cool. Ah, yeah, that's going to be perfect. Bits and bobs. Our mind gravitates toward things in threes. So if I use 3 of these, about like that, that'll be nice. Okay, here we go. Ooh-hoo. Have y'all ever had an oohoo turn white? This is blue, supposedly. Alright, here we go. And I don't worry too much getting glue on this because for some strange reason the oohoo tends to dry unsticky. Get it down in the gutter. Stay out of the water, Wicki. Okay, well that's what I wanted, so just come on off of there. Rosemary's also got a class coming up on her Echo Dye product, or her Echo Dyed papers. Rosemary, if you're still here, you can tell them. Shameless promotion. At least I'm not shamelessly promoting myself. What did I do with my little tool? There it is. This seems to be a little gentler than, more gentle than a credit card. Credit cards will definitely do in a pinch. That's kind of nice right there because it picks up that. Let's turn it this way. So now that darkish area right there picks up the darkish area right here. My particular kind of teaching art is for fine art, all about watercolor and caustic, oil, and I teach the basics of form, shape, perspective, all that kind of stuff. But the thing that I promote is the Zen zone, and by that I mean things that, and now I lost my good little pieces I had out. That's all right, we'll find them again. It's all about finding something creative to do that either makes your heart sing or just allows you a little bit of brief quiet in your brain from all the day-to-day hubbub. Oh darn, I tore a piece off. That one's not that pretty. Here's a pretty one. You gotta be some kind of nuts to take cheap bond paper that's been boiled with leaves and carefully unfold it. Look at there, you never know what you're gonna get. There's a good piece. Let's do that one right here. I think that one's too big, so I'm gonna go here. And I'm gonna do that on the book. Oh, look at there. I found another bendy. Piece falls off. It's okay. These are fragile, as you can tell. I didn't know you'd been gone, Rosemary. I just asked you to promote your new class. Since I'm using all these painty papers, I'm just going to leave that one. Texture is good. Put something on top of that to burnish it down. This tool is stiffer on one end than the other. Oh yeah, that'll work out. And I'm learning from Robin how to think about using these as experiments for future artwork, so that some of these could be enlarged and be statement pieces. But for now, if I weren't online with you guys and talking, well, I might still be talking, but it would be to myself. I would be in the Zen zone. I would be in a quiet place with myself. Yeah, and I think I just answered that with Scraps Journal and as an idea book for future larger paintings. You know, the colors that work and papers that work. And besides that, it's just fun to do something without rhyme or reason, just intuitive. And I have a lot of these going, so. But this style of work, I really am enjoying. Whoops. Upside down goose. Don't do that. You put them in here so they'll stay nice, and then you turn it upside down so you get a bendy brush like that. That'll straighten back out because it's natural hair. And what I want is this. It is a glass fountain pen, calligraphy pen. And this is traditional Chinese ink that has gold mica in it. Excuse me. What, Ian, what are you referring to with acrylic scraps? That's what these are. for a bottle cap. What I wouldn't give for a bottle cap. Bet I can find something. Excuse me while I get up and find something. This will work. I'm bad about saving little cups like this. Take the little thingy off. You don't want to lose that, because the ink pours out. And put it back on when you get finished. Peeled bits off. Oh yeah. I do that sometimes. Now let's see how well this works. Let me test it first. Very fine, but that's good too. Okay, now I'm going to do some intuitive writing. This is goddess writing. Don't y'all wish you knew what I was saying? Finding some edges that need to be taped in. These glass pens hold an awful lot of ink. All right. I'm going to dip that in my water, put that in my water. And put that maybe up under here where it won't leak. And ta-da, we have one done. Okie doke. Nice. I like it. We need something with a little bronzy look. Pull out the book. That ink is going to be wet for a little bit, so be careful. And I just flip through here until I see something that grabs my eye. That kind of has some color in it. Look at there. Just pull that right on out. I'm actually enjoying my bits and pieces of papers. And it's funny how some of these that I did long ago, these are some Daddy Van coated papers that shouldn't have been together because they're sticking, but they're coming right out. Okay. I'll probably have to do that again. If I don't find anything in here, I can go to my other one. Thanks, Michelle. Try to remind myself to look up. That one's got some good copy. It's got copper and blue. Let's pull that one out. Doesn't have to match the other page, just I even keep these. These are pages that I put between pages for painting and stuff like that. Some newspaper. I don't know who gave me that. Somebody gave me that. I like that right there. See if I can do this upside down. If y'all need me to answer something, put it in all caps so I'll be sure and see it. Otherwise, maybe somebody else can answer any questions. Surprised Rosemary isn't making a video of her own. She's prolific. I don't want too much blue. Okay, that's good enough for right now. Take a drink of this so I get it off the desk. This is a textury stamp. It's bronze paint. Let's see what kind of colors we've got in the goodie bag. That would be nice. That's micaceous iron oxide. A little bit of that might be good. Or that. I like that better. This is Warm White from Deco Art Traditions. This is their artist quality line. And I just reminded myself I don't have my apron on. I get paint on everything I own. Dobbies. Golden micaceous iron oxide. There it is. Put it up where I can find it. I'm going to get out my jelly plate, and I got some of these cases from Dina Wakley, and they'll hold all of your small jelly plates in one place. I was having trouble finding a place to keep them without. Get that one out and get this round one out. Might use it too. Don't leave your jellies in the car because they will melt to the backing acetate. but that's okay because we all like texture. If these were going to be really used for serious printing, you wouldn't want them. I prepared a mixed media bag. There's my apron. I wonder how many chair rollers it's under. You can tell I've used it. Put that baby on so you don't ruin your Walmart work shirt. Okay. Okay. Every time I start working, makes me so mad. Every time I start filming something and working, I start getting the sniffles. I must be allergic to y'all. And my little kids just came into the room. You can go outside in a little bit, kiddos. What color do I want? I bought some storage bin things that hang over the door at Walmart. Sam's, I'm sorry, a year or so ago, and I've got my paint right here within reach. Deco Art Orange. That might work. Let's use a little bit of this. This is Deco Art Chalky Finish, which makes it that much better. Again, we're just going to do a couple of daubs. Some of the cream. Very, very thin. Put some more of that on. I may have to get up and go let them out. A little bit of this, that, and the other. Don't get carried away. Not much left. Celadon and Tuckwise. Oops, I forget that this stuff comes out really fast. Put one off the paper. Alrighty. Drink a lunch. Hey, Carolyn. Thank you. I made all these papers over the last 3 or 4 years, and I've been kind of amazed at how they work with what I'm doing now. Ooh, there's that gold. This is make sure the lid's off of it. No. This is the Martha Stewart. It says glitter. They don't put a name on there very good for you to be able to tell what you've got. Superflow Florentine Gold. But it's like all these other newfangled paints right now. They are I'm just going to use this. Super mica. So it's not what I think of when I think of gold. See? Alright. So we've got that. I'm going to have to move this stuff so I can see what I've got out. I got a twofer on that because I cut through 2. Like I said, I don't want to matchy this page, but a little bit of that wouldn't hurt. Ooh. I love that one. All right. This is jelly print on deli paper. If you get paper going with the grain, it'll just tear right up nice and neat. If you tear it across the grain, it's not going to do anything nice and neat. And because this is deli paper, it's going to disappear. Oh, that's too little to use. And if I don't use these pieces, they will go back in the book. Even if I just put them in the book and don't put them under a thread, that's where they're going. Perfect. I like. And I like that. Try to keep my hands up in the screen where you can see. Michelle, deli paper is what they put around your sandwiches at, takeout places or restaurants where they line the little plastic baskets. That's deli paper. Sometimes it's waxed on 2 sides and sometimes only on one, but the wax is light enough that you can put paint on it where wax paper doesn't work. So what I do, a little tip here, is when I go to those restaurants, if you're young enough to be able to put your finger in your dimple and bat your eyes a couple of times, ask your server if you could just have a few just because you're an artist. And usually they're more than happy to give you a handful. You can get some printed ones. Smashburger has a printed one that's white with red all over it. And I've gotten blue checked ones, and Rosemary got some somewhere that has stripes in it. I really like it, but she doesn't. So it just depends on what you're... Now this time I'm going to look at the words. Okay, this is about an actress. There's the good part, right there. But I love it because once it goes down, some of it can be very translucent, but it's so thin that it doesn't interfere with what else you've got going on. I typically do just horizontals and verticals, but something about this, maybe it's that this is okay, that's it. Don't spend too much time overthinking it. Put the ones on the bottom down first. And you can buy plain old deli at Sam's too. I don't know about Costco. You can also order it online where you'll get your best selection. I'm going to use my roller. Make sure you've got all your little edges down. Fish and chips, Michelle, they don't put paper in the basket. I mean, I know that's English, but... Okay, now this one. And welcome, by the way, from Ireland. I don't know anyone from Ireland. I have a good friend that lives in Scotland. We have an open invitation to visit anytime we want, which would be tremendous fun. She's a professional artist from the Glasgow School of Art. Her name is Margaret Evans. If you ever have a chance to study with her, she does a lot of workshops in Europe, beginner workshop and pen and ink and fine art with a leaning toward that's not going to do it. A leaning toward mixed media. See if I can get that little piece of paper off. There you go. Good enough? Well, there's a little bit. Alright, we're not going to worry about that. See if I can just tuck it up underneath that book. This is an a composition book that I went through and took out some pages and glued them together and painted all the pages this peachy color. Alright, now we're going to put this one down. And then we're going to see what else we need. Rosemary, did you tell everybody about your upcoming echo dyeing class on paper? No, it was this way. Well, I don't even know if that was correct or not because the paper may have been upside down. Alrighty. You don't want your notes and stuff to fall in the water. Some stuff here I need to use up. This is back when I was starting, stop. mixed media, I would shop everywhere for stuff. And this one is a teenage girl's making beads, I guess, with, I like that, with washi tape. So I bought it because I had to have it, and it's been laying there ever since. Now, where are we going to put it? I'm going to put it down here at the bottom. Use it or lose it. Now, if this was going to get any rigorous use, I would put some glue down under it. But just being in a journal, it's not going to hurt anything. Because washi tape is not intended to be real sticky. Although this is not the paper washi, this is kind of a plastic, so it may have a better adhesive on it. Okie doke. Dry off my glass nib. And have to put some goddess writing on. Not like that. Not like that, she wrote. This way and go here. I'm doing this work again following Robin McClendon, who is an excellent mentor and teacher. Just for grins. I'm getting it as close as I can so y'all can see it. All right. Maybe not leave it in the water this time. Okie dokie. See if I've missed anything. Are y'all taking care of each other? I hope so. There we go, 2 pages done. Using elements, I'll flip back through this for those of you that weren't here in the beginning and give that ink a chance to dry. This is a junk journal that I did and added stuff to help inspire somebody that would buy the book, and I never put it up for sale. So I'm using it to inspire myself. This one had some spray on it and these little tabs and this spray. So I just added some collage bits to what was already there. And here you can see this page with the stamps, and then I added this stuff. And this one had the modeling paste to a stencil. And this was my first one, I think. I was just kind of finding my legs with this technique. So this one's a little bit darker than the others, but it looks really good. So I'm just having a ball, and look at the mess there. Would you just look at that? Well, we're just going to pretend we like it. I know what caused it. That ink bled right into that black paper. But it's okay. Everything is okay. And if you want to move on and it's not dry yet, just blot it. So we're dry. Good enough. Good enough for who it's for. Here's some that don't have anything on them. Let's find another with some good stuff to play with. This is good. know, these are hard for me because this is Randy's photography from Monet's Garden. Oh, why not? Let's just have a crack at it. Having a crack at my Slim Fast Lunch here. Okay, back to the book. No, it's somebody's flyer. I just used it. If you ever do a page of paper that you really like, take a photocopy of it or take a scan of it, and then you can print it and use it over and over and over. If I would get into some kind of a routine with posting, we would have more people on here. That's not bad. Totally going on instinct here. No rhyme or reason. There are no rules. Wicki don't like no rules. Are y'all seeing how easy this is to use? I love it. It just calls to me. Okay, now I want to do something that doesn't cover up all of the fun stuff. I mean, the photography stuff. Well, that one just jumps right out at me and lives right there, doesn't it? Mark Twain says, you can't depend on your eyes even when your imagination... Oh, can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. That's a good one. I put this right on the bottom. I need to have a straight edge. It's easier to do it now. Than when it's glued down. Oh, how Robin gets such clean tears. I wonder if her... It's got some goodie on it. I wonder if hers doesn't have anything on the back so it can just pull. Ah, she says. Look there. Look at there, look at there. This looks to be something off of some tape. Do I want to save that or do I not? No. Maybe. Maybe, baby. Alright. Here we go. whether it's wrong or whether it's right. We'll go right there. Yep. Michelle, those are, I said earlier in the video, they're custom keepers from Shannon Green, by Shannon Green, and they're made out of recycled billboard vinyl. And they're inexpensive. They come in a bunch of different sizes. And they're empty. They've got the strings ready. They're like a Midori. And they're fabulous. Now this piece of paper I'm going to bring over onto the next page. I've got it scored, tucked real down in there good. And she does ship international. When I say reasonably priced, I mean $15, $20, depending on what size you get. And they're also great for notebooks that you can make out of plain paper, or Midori style books, which they fit. Yeah, we're coming along here pretty cute. Let's go ahead and put this puppy down. Yeah, Ian, I've got one of the inserts. Have you seen the inserts that have loops? They're from Shannon. Well, it might be nice if that was aligned with the type a little. Not like that. It's a pretty color combination. I quit making painted papers and deli papers and jelly prints because I could never decide what to do with them. Have one of those down here in the floor. I just haven't taken the time to get mine. Yeah, check her out. She ships them as cheaply as she can. So, and they don't weigh much. I'm just going to try that out right there. Doesn't hurt my feelings any. Let's go for it. I never thought I would like working with a glue stick. I was raised up in the mixed media world where matte medium was what you used. This is so much better. And I buy the Yoo-hoo sticks from Amazon. Yoo-hoo. Ooh-hoo. I buy 12 at a time. Lord have mercy, we don't want to run out of anything, do we? I like that, so I'm going to do some more. And here's a corner that could use something. Ah, right there would be good. Here, we can get to it easier over here. Aren't you cool, Mr. Ian? Miss Shannon is a great friend to have, I can tell you. And she lives right here. I was so excited when I found out she was moving here. Thought we could be best friends. And we are. Not besties where we talk all the time, but we go to Rosemary's studio from time to time. She's got a fabulous studio. I'm going to park that right there, and then I'm going to put this flap over on the next page. Isn't it fun just not to have to think about anything, just do it? It's what I try to get into my fine art, but it's hard, especially since I'm a realist painter by training, and everything has to look like something. Drink of water. I will, Ian. Oh, yeah, I was supposed to say hi to her from... Man, maybe Patty Tolly Parish. Ooh, there's a good piece right there. The rate I'm using my painted papers, I'll have to make some more here. Ian, tell me again where you live. Are you in England? I'm old and my memory's not good. It helps if you release it. Ah, that's what I thought I remembered. Maybe I'm not as old as I think I am. So did you have to pay shipping? If I don't know that would apply to Ireland or not, but it might. Did a good job on that, didn't I? Now I wish this wasn't stuck down. But, Uhu doesn't, sure, whoops, it did. It did. So we could do that. Yeah, I guess not. Alright, who's got my scraper, my squeegee? There it is. Alright, now let's see if we need anything else. I need to glue that back down. See, I didn't plan this one before I started, so paper matches so good I can't find. I like that. Yeah, that's cool, Ian. My problem is I end up wanting to take my whole studio with me. I did make a mixed media bag like Robin had. Robin McClendon. She's got a video on YouTube that's fabulous. Let me show you if you can see it. I'm looking to see if you can see it. Okay. This is a bag that is on Amazon, but it's got little pockets all the way around it. But the purpose of this is to have duplicates of things, like a glue stick and a pair of scissors, and I've got a plate for watercolor, and I've got a few stamp pads, some baby wipes, a little palette. So this stuff can just stay in here, and I can grab it and go, and then if I want to take my journals and stuff like that, I can pick what I want to take that day depending on what mood I'm in. And it so far it's worked out really well. I'm having trouble remembering where everything is, but she says that if you work with it long enough, you'll know exactly where everything is in it and where stuff goes when you're finished. I think I've said about all I want to say here. So let's do some goddess writing. See, I think that bleeding last time was from that old newspaper picking it up. This is really a cool pen. They're pretty expensive if you buy them in stores, but I got this on, there we go, there's that bleed again. I got this one on AliExpress, and they have them for $4 or $5. Why am I doing that? I've never done that with it before. I know you're supposed to buy local, but you know, when do you want 2 bags of markers or do you want one? It's hard. I write Japanese about as good as I speak Japanese. My mother-in-law, my late mother-in-law, was Japanese. And I could take a phrase that she said and bastardize it till I could make her giggle. And that's about the extent I know about that. All right. So use the tip of the pen. Like that. It's just got spirals blown or cut into the pen that come down to a point. So theoretically all these spirals should hold ink. My problem is going to be not breaking it. Is that what you wanted to see? Alright, get that clot up. That's a good clot getter upper right there, Vicki, I'll tell you. You did a good job there. The wonders of working with acrylic. Yes, it's all glass. I've seen some of these go for lots and lots of money. That's interesting. What in the world? There must, oh, I know what, this was used on pastel, so that's what made that. Made that cloudy look. I should have just left it alone. There. Now, I think they're just called glass pens. Excuse me for blowing. I've got another one here. I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, I thought I could put my hands right on it. But no. Not in that one. So it's in the other one I did over here. Well, dang, it's not in that one either. I'll have to find it the next time I film. It's in a box. I thought I had put it in there. Anyway, it's got some color and stuff in it. This is another thing that I got from Robin, recommended it. It's called a Zen Pin, and it's a licensed deal by Bill Buckman. And it's on Jerry's Artorama, and it's a big old whopping thing, and I think this is the small one. It was really inexpensive. It was like $10. And if it didn't have his name on it, it'd probably be $5. But it works really good. And I had a student quality Jack Richardson, and I never could get it to work. This one makes a little bigger mark. I think I'm just going to go over those two because they're kind of faded. Slightly. All right. Again, I think I found them when I was searching on Alley for calligraphy stuff, and I also got some ink. I saw the ink, but I didn't see the... I've got to get this place organized. Come on, Doc. Come on. That's not too shabby for trying to save some of the photography. I'm going to dry it. Hey, Miss Dances. What is your real name? I should know, but I don't. I'm going to have to be like Barb Owens and keep a cheat sheet. Glass pen, okay. Cool beans. Not too bad. I don't know Peter Draws. Who is that? Thanks, Michelle. Are you Rebecca? I mean, Dances, are you with Rebecca? Rebecca, there it is. That's it. Rebecca dances with the wolves. No, Rebecca dances with the bulls. Rebecca likes to dance. All right. Peter Draws. I need to write that down. Now that pen cap will be lost forever. I tell you, I've got so many people that I like to watch. I don't get time to do my own stuff. Sometimes I think that my favorite thing to do is shop for stuff and watch other people use it. I may never find that pin cap again. Alright, I think we're dry enough to move on. Let's see what we did already today. We did this one. That was from the other day. No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. Duh. Okay, those don't, that has chicken scratch. I'm sorry, goddess writing. We did this today. And we did this. So let's pick another one. I want something with something on it. Price of composition books has gone up to $3. They used to be $1. I guess now that the crafters have gotten a hold of them, these are all blank for the most part. Ooh, there's a good one. Why don't we build on that? And it's not glued real good in the middle, but that's okay. And I've got some stuff out that might just work. Look at there, look at there. For this. Ooh, I like that. Let's do something with that. I don't want 2 pages to match. I just want them to kind of look like they're in the same book together. And I'm going to grab this shell. When I first started deli printing, I was working on good paper. That's wrong. One thing, it's too heavy. There's a nice cleanup print. We might need that. Thoughts and random words. So we might just leave that type. I was a graphic designer in another life, so that's why a lot of my work has room for writing and when you're trained to do ad copy, your stuff always has a place for ad copy. I think I'm going to cut around this. Playing around, playing around. Why don't you decide what you might want to use first? This is an encaustic piece. It's prettier on the back side than it is on the front side, although that's not too bad with this page, but it's a whole lot starker than what I have been attempting to do. Yeah, watch and buy. Right now I'm researching alcohol markers on AliExpress. All of our craft stuff is made, most of it, in China. So, you can kind of, ooh, that adds a little element of something. If you can find something similar, or, something that looks the same, it might be the same. Well, there you go, Rebecca. Duh. Like that. Picks this up. Look how straight that tore. I'm a genius. Rebecca, Shannon Green made some by homemade jelly plates, and the recipe that she used was fabulous. It you didn't have to refrigerate it. Is that it? Look at that. No wonder it wasn't glued down good. So we could do this. Well, the other thing about them is that if you leave them dirty, all this stuff comes off when it gets wet again. Gives you some real interesting stuff. Anyway, Shannon made her own, and they turned out great. Well, there's a lot of recipes going around on the internet, so be sure you check with Shannon. She's got some. I think she's got a. I better not be talking too much. I think she's got a video on them. That's too loud for Monet's garden. These with the photographs on them are a little bit more challenging. What kind of an old tablet, Rebecca? I'm going for it. Cheapo dead one. Okay, I've seen Chelsea using packing tape. Yeah, packing tape is cool. I like making my own washi tape too. This glue is a miracle, I'm telling you. Perfectamundo. Put that down there. Bring it over on that. That'll work. I know, it's fabulous. And it dries unsticky when you do it like this. By the time it dries, that part won't even be sticky. That's amazing. Oh, look at that, I put under there. That's painted on. So let's just save that little piece. Push this down in the gutter. It's a fancy name for that, but gutter it is. Robin did a journal, one of these, like she does. Whoops. Okay, that's kind of glued right there. It ended up in a museum. So you never know, what you may consider junk may be somebody else's fine art. Trying to keep from I still want this to kind of blend in with what's going on. Have you ever done a journal, Rebecca? Classes are fun if you need some social outlet, but you kind of have to be careful who you social outlet with. Some people are destructive. And actually, I find the people online to be so friendly and forgiving and encouraging. Won't my mama be so proud of me? 'Cause if I was a baby bumblebee. Giving a good try out here. And don't throw these away until you see what's on the back. Ooh, that's pretty nice on the back. Gosh. Maybe that and maybe this. And this. Kind of like that. And then cut that off right there. Making it up as I go along. Okay, there you have it. I'll do this one first. Move it over a little bit. Are you thinking about taking a class or teaching a class? And that one goes on top of that one, and this one goes under this one. So we're only going to glue part of that to fit right up underneath there. Teaching, oh cool. Just think how many more people you can turn on to what we're doing in our madness. And of course, if you give recommendations of people to follow on YouTube, those of us here would be more than welcome if you shared our channel. Look at that. I got it that's just crooked. There's another thing about this glue. I lined it up with that. Rebecca, just don't sell yourself short. I like that side better, so we're going to go with that. What you do or what you're going to teach takes time to learn. It takes money. It takes a lot of practice. And it's worth something. And you're better off with 4 or 5 students who pay a realistic amount than 10 students who don't, because they take your stuff more seriously. There, just nestle that right on in there. You got 3 for 1 on this. Oh, golly. The other thing about this glue is that your hands don't end up with matte medium all over them and you have to stop and clean everything off. That's not too bad. So we have here that's paint. We have a 4 for 1. I don't think I'm going to do anything to this one, except I'm going to tear off this top edge. We're 3 years old and it worked? Geez, that's good news. Nope, I think I'm done with that one. Told you I save all kinds of things. Look at that, and it fits and rests in my water little wee yogurt jar. Fits in the lid of that just fine, so I'm not in danger of tipping it. Didn't have enough ink in it. See, this makes a much bigger mark than I like the mark the glass one makes. And look at there. I like the fact that YouTube has started letting you keep, you can, your live comments can still be seen on replay. Well, that ain't gonna work right there. Thank you, Rebecca. How about we look for some washi tape? We need to get rid of this stuff. And right there. No, that's all black. It's not bad, but it's all black. I've got some washi, some new washi I got it. Again, Allie. I was finishing up my teaching program, and for the last 6 months, 8 months, I haven't done anything for me. Here's a good one. This didn't come from China, but it's nice. That bucket is stuff I've gotten on sale at Hobby Lobby. I can't pass up a sale. Well, I guess I don't know where everything is. I tried to clean up a little bit the other day. And hello. Something else to step over until I get down here. I'm going to put a stripe right across there. How long have we been here? Did I start at... Has it been 2 hours yet? Yes, I meant to do that. Yeah, I'm okay, Michelle. It was just a bucket that I didn't have the lid on good. It won't take 5 minutes to clean it up. If I had my dream studio, it would still be a cluttered mess. You can't do this kind of work in a perfectly clean studio. At least I didn't say a dirty word. That is my habit. I've even, my best viewed video on YouTube has an F-bomb in it. Which I think is kind of funny. There. And when you put your washi tape back on the roll that you didn't use, flip the corner over like that. You waste a little bit, but either that or you have to look for it forever. Alright, I think we're going to call that one done. Look at here. I did a great job on that. Let's see if that's on matte medium. And it is. Voila. I don't want to get too anal with these. That one must not be. Yeah, it is too. Uh-huh. Alright, if you're going to do it, let's do it right. My ADD kicks in and then I just start making a mess. About 2 hours is about all I can do one thing. When I was all fine artist, I have in the studio a setup for oil and one for soft pastels. And then this table was what I did mixed media on. And, and caustic. And everything was so neat and contained, you know, your oils just fit in a drawer. And now it looks like the county dump because of the mixed media. Let's go back to the glass pen. There. Okay, so it's 5 o'clock. What time did I come on here? I can start with a pretty neat studio and then end up with a mess. Let's do some jelly printing. Again, just a little bit. And I got too much blue. So I can flip over to another page and brayer that down, and then if I'm not careful, that will stick. This is a color shaper tool. Dip that in my ink. That worked pretty good. That did not work. Oh well. It's not always going to work, is it? At least you got to laugh at yourself. This is not serious business, trust me. Let's try some more of this Deco Art Chalky. That's nice. Let's go back over here where we put that down and I probably better dry some of that. This is Color Shift Blue Flash. I love this stuff. Some pumice stone stain. And how about that's interesting. This is a Cracker Barrel Tuscan Teal. Too much again. at how that started turning purple. Can you see it? I mean, it didn't turn purple, it's just coming up. Okay, take a little bit of that. Put it on here. Take a little bit of that. Put it on there. And let's just do this. And put that back on here. What made that run off was the wetness of the shoot, y'all know what I'm talking about. The stain, the spray stain. Rebecca, was that for me or somebody else? Oh, I bet you're asking about that color shift. Walmart has it. And of course you can always get it online. And Hobby Lobby has it in a big jar, like an 8-ounce jar, twice the size of these. These I think are $2 at Walmart, and the 8-ounce jar at Hobby Lobby is like $8. Trying to get some good color on here, so that when I leave it to dry, I'll come back to some good color. Just making a background, and that is uglier than Putin in church. I've got a blackened iron here from, let's try that. Martha Stewart again. You can get her stuff some places, but the only place I could find it was at Joann's Fabric, and they either moved it where I can't find it. Ooh, I like that. Too much again. Or they quit carrying it at the store. Too much paint. That's the way I used to do jelly printing, was too much paint. Now that I've learned to use thin coats of paint, you get better results. Bunch of paint. We're going to Warsaw it. Yeah, I don't too much, because I don't need that much, you know. Plus, it's storage again. Woohoo, that's an ugly page. Let's tone both of those down with a little bit of Celadon. How do you lose a rectangle? Oh, there it is. Jelly print? I mean, come on. Too much, because I could feel the plate. Excuse me. I want that to dry. Let's try some warm white. Thanks, Rebecca. I'm just about done. The quality of my work goes down. Unless I'm working on an oil painting. Whoops. And then I can paint for hours. But those aren't very fun on lives, believe me. You'd fall asleep. Yeah, a couple of drops. I bet all you need on these little bitty. That's better. Of course, I'm going to cover these anyway, so. Just putting paint on here, and I'm trying to make some good crusty bits for next time. See where I pulled up part of the jelly plate with the plastic? Jeez, you just need one drop. Messy, messy, messy. Can you tell that my concentration has gone way down? I better get rid of that before I make a huger mess. Got some nice stuff going on right there. I'm going to leave here in just a few minutes. I got more than a few minutes of cleanup under my feet. Okay. Anybody else said anything? I don't think so. I think we're going to go because I feel like that's probably about 2 hours. And we're going to have some fun with these because look at some of these papers I've got to put on top. So that will be fun with some other stuff on them. All right, whoever is still here, over and out. Bye. Enjoyed y'all coming. I'll try to give you heads up the next time I do this a little bit. Be sure you subscribe and hook up for notifications. This is my best time of the day because I sleep late. Ow, pinch. And it's just a good time for me. So I will see you guys later. Bye.